Hi everyone. Today we talk about a concept called as cross subsidy. So this is a concept which has been going on for a long time, and we hospitals are one of the places apart from government PSUs who follow it to a large extent. So understand what is a cross subsidy. Cross subsidy is when a same product or service is priced differently for different group of population. Like for instance, you look at the electricity rates. So the electricity rates are different for rural, different for urban, different for commercial, different for residential. This is basically where the government wants to give a reduced rate to certain population, but they have to compensate that reduction by a higher rate from a different population. So another place where it happens very commonly is healthcare. We might not realize it outrightly, but yes, this is a place where it very commonly happens, especially with a lot of government schemes like Ayushman Bharat and the state government sponsored schemes, ECHS, CGHS coming through. Cross subsidy is the thing that is actually keeping the business alive. Now, in order to understand this better, let me take you through how a cross subsidy works. So, this is a small calculation wise, as you are already aware of in my previous presentations also. I've been using spreadsheets to make things understand better. So just look at a normal. Let's assume one hospital. There is a treatment procedure A. The same procedure is priced at 25,000 for a normal direct paying patient, whereas the same procedure is subsidized price at 7,500 rupees in a government scheme. So, government scheme like Arogyasri or Ayushman Bharat, there are many more, Medicep. So, these schemes are there. Now, just imagine that that particular hospital does 25 cases in the standard price and 25 cases in the subsidized price. Now, the total value is given. Now, understand what is a loading per case. Loading per case is the infrastructure loading cost. So, for example, if you buy a costly equipment and you use it for 100 cases in total, so the loading per case would be the cost of the equipment divided by 100. That's it. So you have to calculate your, for example, if it's surgical treatment, you have to calculate your operation theatre expenses, your construction expense, the, you install the air handling unit, you install the entire setup for the operation theatre, you bought a cautery machine, you bought an endoscope, you got a phaco machine, you got an operating microscope. So these are capital investment, and if you have to work out what is the life of this equipment and how many cases you are going to do with that, that will give you a loading per case. Now, what you need to understand is, in a normal routine direct paying case, you can give your full loading. So, in my hospital, for a cataract case, according to a 7-year life calculation, the loading per case is coming to around 11,000 and change. So, now what we tend to do is we never, we try to couple cases, we tend to couple, the subsidized price cases to a full paying case. So what it does is it takes off the loading away from the subsidized cases. You cannot try to make up your capital expense out of the subsidized pricing. So in the subsidized pricing, we will take out the loading cost and only take the consumable cost. So as far as the consumable is concerned, yes, that is definitely less than this quoted price. So the revenue per case is, there is some revenue. Now, understand, these subsidized cases are not paying towards your capex. The investment that you have put into the hospital is not being generated well, is not coming back to you in these subsidized cases. So here, if you look at that in a month, same number of cases, when you look the revenue per case, it is different. Whereas in the same number of cases, the paid cases gives you a good revenue, whereas a subsidized pricing gives you lesser revenue. Now, this is the basic fundamental how it works. So, what is wrong with this problem, with this entire system? This system has been working good for many years in various sectors. Now, one situation: what if tomorrow the industrial electricity connection people start one day saying that we need a rate parity with the agriculture rural people? So what happens is the electricity board will be forced to give the same lower rate to everyone. So that will make the electricity board bankrupt. This is going to happen the same way. If a hospital is set up and is resorting to cross subsidy and surviving and making a profit for itself, then it's understandable. But if you ask the hospital to do each and every case in the subsidized price, that is going to kill the business. So, in order to maintain the viability of the business, we should have a minimum viable price that your business can sustain, that you should be aware. What is the lowest price at which you can undertake a treatment plan? So, in order to do that, you have to sit meticulously, calculate a capital investment that you have done, what is your recurring cost, and accordingly you will reach a figure which beyond which you cannot reduce the cost. And you should know that how many of full paying procedures you should be doing, so that you can match it up with the subsidized cases. Now, understand something, it is not possible for a business enterprise to run purely on subsidized this thing. So, for example, if the electricity board gives everybody electricity at the cost of the rural tariff, it is not going to be feasible. But what is happening nowadays is that there are a lot of insurance companies and other third party payment companies. What they are trying to do is they are trying to negotiate with the hospital that you are doing the same case in so and so government scheme at this cost, why can't you do it for us? They fail to understand this basic fact of cross subsidization. Now, the practical example of cross subsidization can be seen at various charity institutions, like institutions like LV Prasad Eye Hospital, Narayan Nethralaya. These places has got different pricing category, like premium, deluxe, and site savers. So here what happens is the people who end up paying higher, who can pay higher for a better service, they pay higher. That amount is utilized for the subsidized stream of patients, which is totally understandable. But if that same establishment cannot survive only on the subsidized patients, because they need some stream of revenue. As it's rightly said, charity cannot run on an empty stomach. So, in order to build a successful practice, you should have a good balance of subsidized cases. Don't run behind government schemes, because what government schemes are going to do is they are going to erode your capex and just give you a day-to-day running income. That doesn't make sense. If you think that you can establish a practice, private practice which runs purely on government schemes and make a profit out of it, it's very difficult to get your capital expenditure recovered in that business. You will be able to make up your day-to-day running expense, but you will require a good number of direct paying patients in order to have your hospital running successfully. So that's about it. It is just a small brief content. This calculations, there are a lot of complex calculations which go into getting into the minimum viable costing pricing model. There are different type of pricing. I'll come up with videos on those in soon. Till then, thank you, and thank you for watching.